Mannerism grew to popularity in the 17th century, modeling itself after Michelangelo's later style. While the specifics of Mannerism are debated, it is generally agreed that it came after the Renaissance and was before the Baroque period. There was a departure from the hyperrealism of the High Renaissance to a focus on the elongation of bodies. The ideal mathematical proportions of the Renaissance have been replaced with chaotic works which depict scenes of distraught and tension. As you can see in Pontormo's The Entombment of Christ, the figures are all disproportioned. Christ is being carried, and we can see that his torso is far too long for his body. While we can recognize that there is something important happening in this scene, Pontormo has taken out all of the religious symbols. There is no cross or tomb or anything other than the figures. This is a very stylized interpretation, where the artist has done what he pleases, removing the linear perspective and taking out earthly reminders. Here we have the burial of Count Orgaz, painted by the very famous Mannerist artist El Greco. It is oil on canvas, made from around 1586 to 1588. It was commissioned by a Spanish priest to honor Count Orgaz, who had been very generous as a benefactor during his life. We have Saints Stephen and Augustine, so this is obviously a very important man, and El Greco is trying to exemplify that. Count Orgaz is actually a name that was given later to Don Gonzalo Ruiz, the lord of the town of Orgaz. It takes place on two planes, showing the earthly burial and combining it with the heavenly reception. This work has shifting planes and no linear perspective, basically assuming that the viewer will understand what is happening, rather than just spelling it out for them. Now, let's look over to the left-hand corner of this painting, where a little boy is looking out at us. This immediately grabbed my attention because the rest of the figures in this painting are focused inward and concentrated on that fictional world, but here this boy is trying to bring us into that world and connects us. His hand is pointing out at Count Orgaz as if to say, "Look here." He's actually El Greco's son, and by placing his son there, he shows this personal connection with the scene. El Greco has taken many liberties in this painting. Notice the elongation and distortion of the bodies, especially those in the heavenly plane. He was also known for having figures lit by unseen sources, and the incredible sense of light we get in this painting is a result of that. The setting of the burial seems unclear because it's dark, which was done to add to the mystery of this painting. El Greco was known for being a remarkable portrait artist, and here he has many noble figures into the background. Another thing that's done to exemplify Count Orgaz's importance. Let's look at the top half of this painting now, at the heavenly reception of Count Orgaz. This is a very lively scene compared to the bottom. The clouds are all placed at different levels. It seems as if Count Orgaz could just climb right up into heaven. We also have cupids moving to and fro, and heavenly figures looking expectantly, wondering if Count Orgaz will be accepted into heaven. Overall, this is a very beautiful Mannerist piece by El Greco.